Let's talk about André Onana. Signing Onana was always going to spark a lot of debate amongst United fans, and it's definitely too early to be too heavy in praise or criticism of André Onana. However, with Onana being such a larger-than-life character, expectations, as always, that fans have due to replacing David De Gea, we're always going to be a magnifying glass on the effect that he has on a team. And I think it's in replacing a player that's won so much with Manchester United, including individual accolades, and a lot of them. I think it's important to look at what he's bringing to the table. And we can talk about pre-season, we can talk about the Wolves game, we can talk about the Spurs game, and we can look at what he's done so far and what we think he can take it to as the season sort of unfolds. Now, I think it's important not to overanalyze. And I think that'll be the case as the season proves on. I've said, when I was on 5 with 5 a couple of weeks ago, I think he'll be the most transformative signing of the summer. Now, whether that means he leads United to the title, or a cup of some sort, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way one player changes the way an entire team plays. And I think Onana will be the most transformative signing. I don't think there's a single player that's signed for any other club. Caicedo could have a similar sort of effect at Chelsea, but I think Onana will be the most transformative signing of the summer. And I think it's obvious Manchester United are a better side with Onana in it. That's not going to stand up to too much scrutiny with the results and performances that we've had in the league. But I think there's non-Onana related reasons for that. I think the issues of him being caught out and off his line, again, this is the sort of thing that only becomes an issue when it's Manchester United, because I can pull Alisson getting done like that multiple times, Ederson being done like that multiple times, Ramsdale being done like that multiple times. It is a factor of being a modern goalkeeper that patrols an entire half of the pitch that occasionally someone else's mistake further up the pitch means you're off your line and you can get lobbed in those situations. But I think the net benefits of having a player that patrols outside of his box is really, really big. So I think his distribution, his sweeping, and perhaps most importantly, his character has seen him be so genuinely refreshing to watch. He might be one of my favourite characters in the United side at the moment, because he's one of the only ones that's doing his job to a high degree of quality and doing it with a little bit of bollocks about him as well. And I think having him in the Premier League alongside some of the best goalkeepers in the world, you're going to see his reputation absolutely skyrocket to be on a level pegging with some of those, I think. Now, let's talk about the Wolves game. Now, of course, the big talking point from the Wolves game was the VAR incident with Onana. He collides with Kalidzic, and Wolves supporters didn't get a penalty right at the end of the game. And for me, I thought it was a bit of a 50-50. I watched Brentford-Tottenham on the Saturday, and in that game, something similar happens. The ball is played, goes out. The keeper clatters the striker after the ball has gone. Now, it's as close as it could be to the circumstances Onana found himself in. And there wasn't endless debates on social media about it. It was kind of like, the ref didn't give it, the ball had gone. Okay, cool. Now, we were lucky not to concede. And I think half of that luck of why we were lucky not to concede was just sheer very good goalkeeping from Onana. Wolves had a lot of opportunities. They had a lot that went off target. But they also hit some that he managed to get his hands on. And the issues that Onana was kind of facing were sorted out with minimum fuss, maximum efficiency, and then his distribution was exactly what I think he was signed to do. He was finding players nice and easy. He was taking the ball under pressure. He was moving it on. And he was also finding people with some long-range pinpoint passes as well. He made a smart save from Cunha, Neto, Silva. And I saw a massive improvement in his sweeping as well. There's still the quickness, which he's famous for, off his line. But he wasn't getting caught out in and being in no man's land with it as well. And I think that's the difference. Is you can go early and you can go with speed, but can you time it right that the striker's just glanced down to see where the ball is when you make your move, and then by the time he looks up, he then can't look down again to be able to chip you. You know, you've done it in the right sort of step and beat that he now has to try and pass it round you or shoot round you than having all the time in the world to be able to chip you. So that's important. In the Spurs game, I thought some of his distribution was fantastic. Again, I thought he made some decent saves. He commands the area well. I think he marshals the defence quite well. And people are going to disagree with that one because the defence looked at 6s and 7s, but I think it's more a case of the things that he's moving the defence around to do. And I don't blame him for Luke Shaw not closing his man down, because I'm almost certain, wasn't standing there, but I'm almost certain everybody would have been telling Luke Shaw to get out to his mark, and he just didn't for whatever reason. I thought in the Spurs game he was probably one of our only bright sparks. Probably man of the match, even though we lose 2-0. I think overall, Onana, I think has got the potential to be one of the best keepers we've seen at United, and it's a high bar. There is a blend of Van der Sar and Peter Schmeichel, and that's not a bad position to be in as a goalkeeper. Two of the best to ever do it. Now, I'm not saying he's on the level of those. I'm saying his style is a blend of those two. And there's hiccups and blunders from every goalkeeper, because when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's a massive mistake, and it always happens. But he is a player that I think will throw himself at anything. I think he'll do whatever it takes to win. I think the confidence and the way he carries himself, he is a Manchester United player, which is the biggest compliment I can pay anybody. You know, and him being a bit of a mad one, bit of a character, I think you give him time and he will be fine. That's not to say I think he's been bad, because I don't. I think he's been very, very good. And I'm sure that will only improve as his understanding with the rest of the defence improves. But yeah, I think I'm trying to find a positive out of yesterday, in all honesty. But yeah, I like him. I like what he's brought to United. And actually, I think the rest of the team needs to step up to the levels he's capable of playing with. The midfield needs to be able to get a little bit of lateral movement, get themselves on the ball. He'll find you. You know, the wingers need to start staying high, staying wide, getting on the turn, showing available for the ball, and he'll find you. Like, his distribution will get better as his understanding from his teammates, knowing that this guy can actually hit me, gets better. And like I said, at the start of the season, I said he gets 1 assist, and it'll be for Marcus Rashford. But Marcus needs to play left wing for it, because he's not going to work down the middle. Let me know your thoughts on the guy anyway. But I'm a big fan. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.